Hey paisanos, it's your pal, it's your buddy /687, and today we are going over the top 5 CPUs of the month. I've been gone for probably about 4 months, so a lot's changed since I made the last one of these videos, and I think now is a better time than ever. But first, I'd like to bring up a little poll I made in the community section of my YouTube channel. I was wondering if you guys like this format with a face-to-face, you know, you and me going at it back and forth, or if you just like the straight gameplay, or if you like the mix of the two. But anyway, the votes came in from that poll. 67% of you liked a mix of gameplay and the face, and like 20-something% of you just wanted gameplay, but I don't see why. Am I really that ugly? Is it really that terrible?
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Either way, the votes came in. You guys want to see a mix, and that's cool because I really do like making the videos with the lights and the face. I think it adds a lot more possibilities to the channel and just video making in general. I think I can do a lot more with this format as far as creativity goes than just straight up gameplay. So either way, even if you're one of the people who voted to not see me, I respect your opinion, but the thing is, we're going with a mix of gameplay and face going forward, and that's that. But anyways, like I said, we have the top 5 CPUs for the money right now, and I'm just gonna start off with a list right now. It's pretty funny because the tides really flipped since I last made one of these videos. It used to be these videos were straight Intel. They just were the king in pretty much every budget demographic. But now, as you're gonna see, things have changed a little bit. The tides have turned. This thing's gonna be a little bit more red washed than all the previous videos, which are just straight team blue. But I'm just gonna tell you guys how I see it. I don't care if it brings a tear or two to your eyes. Let's just we're gonna do the list, guys. So here we go. So we're gonna start with the lowest budget CPUs and then work our way up to the top tier. I'm gonna tell you guys the best one at each budget. So here we go. Starting off with the lowest tier, we have the Intel Pentium G5400. As far as current new extreme budget CPUs goes, this is really the only option. Intel really has the bottom of the barrel budget market cornered. The Ryzen 3 CPUs, I think the lowest is around about $98. So when you have an Intel Pentium like this one for, you know, upper $70, this is really the best option, or really the only option by default for the extreme low budget builds. I'm talking $300, $400 PCs built from all new parts. So the Pentium G5400 has 2 cores and 4 threads. Yes, it does have hyper-threading, which helps a lot, because if this thing only had 2 cores and no hyper-threading, you know, flush it right down the toilet, because 2 cores is not going to get you very far in today's gaming climate. But with hyper-threading, you're going to be able to get away with playing a little bit more advanced games than you'd be able to otherwise. It clocks up to 3.7 gigahertz, and it's based on the socket 1151, so there's a good vast selection of motherboards out there for you if you're going to use this CPU, and a good amount of cheap motherboards, which is really what you're going for with a CPU like this. You want very low budget parts pretty much throughout the build if you're going to go with something like this. Plus, it's a good upgrading platform down the line if you want to pop in an i3 or an i5, something like that. This thing's going to be able to play a few AAA titles. You're going to have to lower the settings a little bit. It's really going to hold back your GPU if you have anything too strong. I'd pair this with a GT 1030, something like that. It has integrated graphics, but those really don't do too much. But the next CPU I have has much better integrated graphics at only $20 more. But for the price at about $70 flat, it's the best you can get at this budget. In fact, it's about the only thing you can get at this budget. That is, unless you're trying to get a used CPU, but that's not what this video is about. We're talking the brand spanking new shit, baby. The top of the line. The creme de la creme. Next up, I have the Ryzen 2200G. Now, this thing's only about $20 more than the last CPU, but as far as price to performance goes, it is a good step up. The 2200G has 4 genuine cores, no hyper-threading though, just 4 cores, that's it. 4 cores. 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth this great country. That's what you're getting, 4 cores. It has a base clock of 3.5 gigahertz and it boosts up to 3.7 gigahertz. As far as the CPU goes, yeah, the performance is a good step up from the Pentium, but here is the kicker, as Guy Fieri would say. It has the Vega 8 chip for its integrated graphics, which is significantly better than what you're getting with a Pentium. The Vega 8 graphics in this chip rival the graphic power of a GT 1030, which is a very formidable GPU. That's about, what, a $90, $80 GPU, and this chip has graphical powers of that included in it. So it's a really good value if you're trying to build a bare bones budget PC that can still perform really well. So you can get this CPU, not even buy an external graphics card, and still play 1080p games at low settings. And then down the line, if you want to upgrade to a Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7, or you want to throw in just some external GPU, maybe a 1050, 1060, it ought to support it pretty well. As far as price to performance goes, out of all the CPUs on this list, I'd say this one right now is probably my favorite. Because trust me, ask any of my friends, I am cheap as hell. And if I like this thing that much, that means it is a very good deal for the money. Next up, we got another CPU from the red team, the Ryzen 5 2600. Not the 2600X, just the plain old 2600. We can overclock on our own. We don't need the X, pal. Now this thing has 6 cores along with the simultaneous multi-threading, so 12 threads. And it is just a monster of a CPU. If you're looking to jump into editing along with gaming or maybe some streaming, this is the chip for you. The 2200G might not have the horsepower with those 4 cores to take any kind of productivity, streaming, you know, those kind of intensive workloads. But this guy, on the other hand, this is going to be the optimal chip for an entry-level streamer, YouTuber, editor, that kind of stuff. As far as gaming goes, that's going to be fabulous too. You can overclock this thing, and when you overclock it, it's actually going to go head-to-head with the i5 in this budget range, which is actually going to be about $20 more than this chip. So if you're into overclocking, if you're into productivity, that type of stuff, this is going to be your CPU. So like I said, where Intel once held this spot very firmly with its i5 lineup, Ryzen's come in and it's really stirred the pot. Things are starting to change. Next up, we have the Ryzen 7 2700, and we're starting to get into the overkill bracket when it comes to gaming. Most people aren't going to need this for their AAA titles. Most of the time, the Ryzen 5 is going to be fine. But if you're looking to get into editing, productivity, intensive workloads, having tons of stuff on the screen at once, you're running dual monitors, you got Photoshop, you know, Sony Vegas opened up, like 28 Google Chrome tabs, this is going to be your guy. This thing has 8 cores, 16 threads. It's just a monster of a CPU. I actually have the predecessor to this. I have the 1700X, and I've loved that thing. It's done great for my editing. It's done great for streaming, everything I could possibly want. And this thing is just an extra step up. Its base clock is 3.2 gigahertz, and it clocks all the way up to 4.1. It's pretty pricey for a guy who's just looking to game at $290. So like I said, this thing's more so geared towards more intensive workloads. But trust me, it's going to destroy your games if that's what you're looking for with this CPU. So $290, it's a solid deal, and at this budget range, in my opinion, it's the best option. Last up, I got the top tier CPUs, one of those markets that Intel still has a firm stranglehold on, and that is the i9-7980XE. This thing is 18 cores with 36 threads, and it comes in at $1,850. Will it play Minecraft? Probably. Will it play Minesweeper? It might. Maybe even on max settings. If you're gaming, obviously, this is not the CPU for you. This is if you're trying to do some AI take over the world shit, Elon Musk type shit. I don't know. What can I tell you? It's 2.6 gigahertz, boosts up to like 3.3, something like that. You aren't going to be really too worried about that if you're buying an 18-core CPU. You're probably going to be more worried about running 1,000 simulations at once, trying to decode the matrix. Like I said, this is the top tier, cutting-edge shit that Intel still has a stranglehold on. Is it going to be applicable to you or me? Probably never in our lifetimes, but hey, it's an option, and if you're looking to get the top tier shit, Intel is still the best choice. So there you have it, guys. 5 CPUs at 5 different budgets, the best price to performance in each budget. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna have a lot more videos like this, top tier editing, all that shit. I've changed the style a little bit. I'm sorry about you guys who just wanted to see gameplay. You're gonna have to put up with this, but it is what it is. Things you can do to support the channel. Here's a completely free one. Use my Amazon associate links and my eBay partners program links. There's general links in the description, actually. You can use those, buy anything on both of those sites, and I get a little kickback from Amazon and eBay. Helps out my channel a ton. I also have a Patreon. If you'd like to join that, you get special privileges on my Discord server, which I encourage you guys to join down in the description below if you want to talk to some fellow /687 subscribers, the greatest minds of this generation, obviously. And I also have some merch. I have 2 t-shirts, 1 kind of new design that I put out a couple weeks ago. I like it a lot. You can see right here. Look, it's 2 RAMs. You got a RAM stick and you got a RAM, and they're going at it. I think it's a pretty cool design. I have a CPU frying an egg. Boom! I mean, what more could you want, man? That's a good way to support the channel. They're very cheap, only $14.99 a shirt, and a hoodie is $24.99. I dropped the prices to as low as I could pretty much while still making a profit because I'd like you guys to be able to go out and buy them, you know? Selling $25 t-shirts. Does that look like something a cheap-ass man like me would do? Nah. I'd say that about wraps it up, though. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll personally reach out to you, and I'll reply. Alrighty then. See y'all later. Have a great night. Peace.